Hey guys, Minsi here. Welcome back to my channel. I've got my $30 worth of cheap survival gear here on my back, and today I'm going to take you on a survival challenge where I build a shelter and test out my bushcraft survival skills using just these items. Right, let's do it. So I'm here in Kmart and I'm just in the camping section seeing if I can find some things. I don't have any rope in stock at all, so I'm going to have to go with fishing line instead. Found an interesting plant. I don't know anything about this plant, so I'm definitely not going to be trying to eat it. Well, I looked it up. It's not edible. Lucky I didn't try to eat it. Ooh, paper bark. It's a really good fire starter, so I'm going to grab some of this and chuck it in my tarp to take with me. Some obstacles. I've never seen old man's beard this thick before. Very good. Good fire starter, and it's nice and dry. Now we go from pine trees to she oaks. Let's head to the beach. Whew, I want to put this sack down. Very heavy. Got some chickpeas stabbing me in the back. Look at the view. So I thought about camping a bit more like behind the dunes where all those she oaks and things were, but this time of year when it's really hot and there's a lot of snakes and things around, I think it's just going to be safer to be out in kind of like a sandy patch, and also better for my blow up mattress as well. But the things that I collected, my paper bark and my old man's beard piece of coconut that I found. Some food, chickpeas, some pasta, a couple of marshmallows and some oats, my air mattress. So I've got some fishing line, knives, 2 blankets, which is pretty hot now, but I'm sure it's probably going to get a little bit cooler at night, so let's see if I'll end up using those. I brought some water, and then some swimmers and an overshirt, just because I know YouTube wouldn't like it if I went like full natural survival style with my swimming and everything, so let's stay on the safe side with that and also stay sun safe as well. Do you hear that? It's cicada free finally. I just saw a little dead cicada shell over there and I'm like, wait a minute, it's silent except for the wind. Alright, let's get into setting up camp. This is going to be a good spot for my mattress. At least it'll be a little bit out of the wind with this kind of mound here. The wind should be coming from this direction this afternoon, if the weather is correct. Oh, it looks small. Am I going to fit on there? Have to make sure there's none of these spiky she oak seed pods on there. My least favorite thing. I always feel like I'm gonna pass out. A little bit windy. So my tub should fit nicely, which is good. I was a bit worried about that. I thought the tub was gonna be too small, but it's the only one I could afford within the budget. So yeah, it looks like it should work out. It's gonna cop a bit of wind, as you can see from that direction, so I'm gonna have to make sure I stake it down really hard on that side. Look at all this firewood. Should have no problem starting a fire later. Ooh, be careful about the snakes. Where is a good Y stick? This could be a nice straight stick for across the top. want to go in any further. Jesus. Danger. Damn it, it broke just below where I wanted it to break. Perfetto. One wire stick. 2 wire sticks. Possibly one across stick. Not sure if it's going to be long enough. Let's get whittling. Make this into a stake. This might take a while. That over there for now. Hope I didn't just annihilate any crabs down there. There's a crab hole just there. That made it going nice and smooth. So I need this one to be a bit smooth because my tarp's going to be sitting on it and I really don't want that to get a hole in it. Let's see if it fits. Perfect. Not really touching, so I need to make my stick go down a bit further. That's got to be all right now. Yeah, that'll be good. Check the other side. Okay. Didn't want to break that one. That'll be 2 pegs. That one's pretty sharp already. Just so you know, all this wood that I'm collecting from the trees is already dead. I don't know if you can see it, but when I pull this one off, there's already ants crawling in there. Sheerix just have a lot of dead branches hanging off them. You can tell which ones are dead because they don't have the leaves. It's pretty straightforward. So I've secured the middle rings down. I've left the ends open because I'm going to close that up as I go to sleep. And now I need to finish my air mattress. Got a little bit blown up, but definitely not enough to sleep on yet. The tide's coming in. I want to go for a swim. Looks pretty brown though. I'm not sure how nice that's going to be. Well, my camp is pretty much set up and ready for the evening. But I think I'm just going to go see what I can find on the beach. Look at this beautiful deserted beach. Look at the tiny little plover. I don't know if you can see it. Look at him run. Here's a little red cap plover and possibly some wimbrels or eastern curlews. I can never tell the difference. It's not very deep. Alright, let's go see what we can find. Very refreshing. Even though it's like a semi-warm bathtub, at least when you're out the wind comes. That feels nice. Look, it's a big razor clam shell. They look a bit pearly sometimes, but this one's got a bit of a coating on the inside. Someone's left their jumper behind. Maybe if I was like really in a survival situation I might use that, but not that desperate yet. This one's even bigger, but it's actually got the pearly inside. Isn't it pretty? Don't really have much of a use for that though. Oh, there's 3 little red cap plovers there together. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to scare you. There's lots of grass clumps on this beach, so it's kind of hard to know if there's any coconuts, but I think I spotted one over here. It is a coconut! Yay! It doesn't sound like there's any water in there. But it's alright, I have another idea of something I can do with this, even if it's not edible on the inside. Are you ready to see my knife throwing skills? Bang! Oh, it's really stuck in there.
My knife throwing skills.
Oh! Oh! Ooh! Alright, so this is what I foraged. My coconut. Some shells, which I'm thinking about doing some interesting things with. And this, which I think is one of those eggshell casing things again, but this is like a dry and very flat one. So I want to kind of like crack it open a little bit and see if I can see anything inside. They're all empty. All the shells are gone. Well, that's good. So the shells, they grow inside these little pouches and then they hatch out. Be on their merry way. Chop everything away. A little bit of room above my head. Alright, so I've got my kindling here. Just going to leave that out so it's ready for when I'm ready to start my fire. And now I've got to work out how I can actually cook some of these things that I brought with me. So I don't know if this is actually going to work, but I'm going to give it a red hot go. Fibers are very wet inside. God, it's really stuck on here. It's got a mohawk. It's a pretty small coconut. I'm gonna try and crack it open. This is probably not going to be good inside because I can't hear any water or anything in there. I'm going to just try and pop the top off of it. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. So normally I would open the coconut if I wanted to get to the flesh by just giving it a good whack in the middle of the coconut. But then it splits the coconut in half. I'm getting through it slowly. You can see there's a bit of a softer bit in there. Coconut actually looks pretty good still inside. I'll find out when I open it, but it looks kind of white, which is interesting. Ooh. No, not good. Too dry, bit gross. Now I have to try and work out how I'm going to get all this coconut out from the inside without breaking the shell. Seems like such a waste of coconut flesh, but it's just not good. I think the last bit's going to be the hardest. Empty. Alright, looking pretty good. Well, I forgot to mention, but I did also buy one other very important item, which is this lighter. So altogether, it came to about $50 Australian, which is about $30 US. Might not be dry enough. Gotta love paper bark as a fire starter. It's very effective. It's like the newspaper of the bush. Looks like a lot of this wood is still very wet inside because it has been raining a lot here, which is why the ocean is also super brown. Right, let's see if this splits nicely down the middle. Ooh, not quite, but almost. I think it's still usable. So you want it to be kind of like going on an angle down like that and then straight there. Then you want a smaller twig to put like that. And then that goes on there, like so. And then the special secret ingredient is my hair tie. And you're gonna put it around there, like that. Roll that up to the top. And you've got yourself a pig. And that is going to help me hold my tarp closed, I think, tonight. So I'm going to make another one of those. Alright, let's see if my little peggies are going to work out. So I've got my tarp here. I tucked it in a little bit. Got my peg. Pop that on there. There we go. It's pretty good. Should keep it closed up enough for the night. Ow! Oh, you little bastard. I haven't actually used a fishing line for anything yet. Little shell spoon. At least now I've got a spoon for if I ever get to making my food. And I got to use my fishing line. It didn't go to waste. Alright, I'm going to start cooking now. Get that in the coals. I kind of want to just get a bit of a better, ooh, it's dangerous, bed of coals underneath my coconut before I put that back in there. It's boiling a bit faster. Ooh, danger. There we go. Hold on. Ooh, it is hot. It's getting there. It smells very cheesy. I lost some of my cheese. Hopefully my dinner will be ready soon. It's my favourite time of the day. The wind's gone down, the sun's gone down, the ocean is just lapping over there. And the food is cooking. Most importantly, it's beautiful and cool out here. Let's go have a look at the beach. I wonder what this thing is. Some kind of seed pod. Looks kind of cool. Better not go too far away from my food, otherwise it might get a bit too cooked. It's not very enticing. Let's check on my coconut. You want to see? I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't want to tip it out, it's my only dinner. My spoon is working so well. Look. Super tropical. There's even a little bit of salt and pepper sand in there. But as you can see, it's getting very dark. This was a really yummy dinner, even though it was just a packet meal, but I feel like it was more delicious because it came in a coconut with a shell spoon. Well, I'm gonna go rinse this out so that I can reuse it in the morning for my breakfast. Yes, there's only 3 marshmallows left. I already ate some. I couldn't hold back. A bug just landed on me, on my head. Oh, this survival challenge so far is going pretty good. I haven't actually had to even really use that fishing line so far except for my shell spoon, but my whole camp setup is no rope or anything, so that worked out really well. I think I got really lucky with the coconut because it's the only coconut that I could find on the whole beach. Normally there's a lot more coconuts around, but this beach is surprisingly clean. Like there's no rubbish really washed up. It's just a bit of grassy stuff, so yeah, if I didn't find this coconut, I think I would have been struggling to have my dinner because I didn't really have any other vessel to cook it in, so that worked out very well. I'm very thankful to this coconut. Alright, time for bed. First, let's see if I can turn around. I'm gonna test my flexibility out in here. Alright, I'm the right way around now. I should bring my blanket inside. Oh, it's covered in sand already again. Right, where's my peg gone? Good night. Do I look like I'm in a little tunnel? Let's see if this works. By something. It was a bit cold in here in the night, but not too uncomfortable on my air mattress. I didn't have to end up using my other blanket though, so I didn't really have a pillow. I'm ready to get out of my little cave. The tide looks really high and sounds high. I can hear it. I was like, oh, please don't come in here. The tide is not as close as it sounds. It sounds like it's really close when you hear the water lapping in the night. It's not that far away. Well, I'd like to wake up with my morning swim, but first I'm going to start my fire just so I don't get too cold afterwards. Because it's a little bit chilly. kindling is a little bit damp. I probably should have kept it in my shelter with me, wrapped in a t-shirt or something. But hopefully the paper bark is just going to be dry enough to get something going. Fire started a little bit, so I'm going to go for the swim. Are you ready for a swim? Let's warm up first. Okay. Time for round 2 with the coconut bowl. I'm feeling very warm now. It's very sunny here. There's like blasting through here. It's the only time when there's no shade in this spot. Try not to put too much sand in there. Smells clean. I must have cleaned it alright last time from all the cheesy sauce. It's looking very gooey. Maybe I'm going to sit in the shade to eat this. Time to taste these bland oats. I should have left a marshmallow yesterday to put in there to make them a bit sweeter, but I was just not thinking about that at the time. It's going to be really hot, I think. Tastes like oats. You can see I've cooked 2 meals in there and it's barely even really like burnt on the outside. There is a little bit of a crack there on that side. That might have copped a bit too much heat. Still quite intact, so it's good. So the trick with those is you have to make sure that you just kind of make a bed of coals to put them in the fire, because if you just put them directly onto the flames, they can just burn up. Hopefully if you were stranded on an island, you might have more than one coconut, so that once your first one is done with, you can keep eating. I think for $30 US or 50 Australian dollars, you can survive out for a few nights on a beach. I think I would have preferred if the tarp was a little bit bigger, just for comfort, so I don't have to wiggle my way in and out of that sleeping tunnel. But it worked fine for the night, so that's the main thing. I'd love to do another survival challenge soon where I survive with only 3 random items of your choosing. I've done one of those videos before and I'll link that in at the end of the video. So I asked in the comments if you could write down 3 items that you want to see me survive with, and then whichever one has the most likes is what I will do. But at the moment the leading comment is mushrooms, weed and wine, and I think that might be a little bit illegal, so I'd like it if you'd head over there, make some comments or like some comments for some different items that you'd love to see me survive with. Thanks for coming on this adventure with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more, subscribe and turn your notifications on. And if you want to see my behind the scenes footage, check out my social media links. See you next time.